Hi, I'm Doug Walker in Deschocon, Wisconsin, and this is Artist Alley. Now this is really cool. This is a couple named Scuttlebutt, love that name, and they actually do Artist Alley for a living. I'm not just talking about the professional artists, like they actually go from Artist Alley to Artist Alley, doing commissions, doing drawings and selling badges, and this is actually their living. And what I have to ask you is, how do you do it looking like an exploding peacock?
You know, people really like the exploding peacock look. What can I say? They respond really positively.
We're gonna have it till she's 40 because there's no way she can get rid of it now.
I sort of want to go surfing on it, I have to admit. There's just this,
Ooh, blue.
Yeah, blue, diet blue. You can put a little surfer in there probably.
I think I have my new Halloween costume.
All right.
People out there doing Artist Alley, if you want to know how to do this really professionally, take it from these people because they know their stuff. This is what they do for commissions. I mean, they have a whole book of this, of your name, email, phone number, all this stuff. And I guess big question I want to ask is, how did you guys, how did you decide to do this for a living, actual Artist Alley?
We started out doing Artist Alley about 6-7 years ago. You can see we do badges, and this is what we do. We started out with 6 designs at one convention. We made 6 copies of 6 designs, and we sold out of everything we had. And so we're like, let's keep going. Started doing more. Now we have over 170 designs. We do custom work all the time. We usually have about a 2-month backlog on our commissions, so people want, hand-drawn stuff, hand-painted. As it just kept picking up, we were kind of miserable doing our day jobs, and went, maybe we wouldn't be making enough, not making as much money just doing this, but we have so much fun. Why not take that leap? We also are producing a webcomic, shonenfight.com, in print as well now, so we wanted to take that opportunity to take that leap and try and promote ourselves that way because, the dream is to be real comic artists and not just doing fan art.
Something they did at this con is that they did sort of like a class, or at least a panel, telling people starting up Artist Alleys just good advice and good tips to, again, make a living at this, make a living doing Artist Alley. And just in the few minutes here, what can you say is the best advice, best couple of things you can say to help artists that are going into doing this?
Number one piece of advice is, honestly, and nobody really wants to hear it, is you gotta sell out.
Just a little.
A little bit. Just give away a tiny piece of your soul. You'll get it back later. But when you're starting off, if you really want to make money at it, it's really fun to do what you love to do, but if you really love something that maybe is a little bit more obscure and not as many people are going to get into, you got to take a look at how am I going to make this financially viable. And if that's the case, you need to be drawing stuff that people are going to buy, and that means the more popular stuff. You're looking at Naruto and Bleach and whatnot. You got to consider your finances and make it cost effective, because you can go to a convention and spend a bunch of money and buy the really expensive hotel, but we live frugally when we're on the road. We eat cheap, we live cheap, we look for the cheapest plane tickets wherever we're going. We're out of San Diego and we go from Hawaii to New York, but we got to be really careful about how we spend our money, because we're obviously not making a fortune at this. We're getting on by until we can get a following and hope that we can make this a more viable living doing our original stuff.
This is Makesy, who's looking incredibly hot in her outfit, and she's going to tell us about her art.
Hello, my name is Makesy, and this is my art table. I started off like every kid does, drawing their favorite cartoon characters. I drew Totoro and Sailor Moon, and as I got older, I started doing more original stuff. I started out using colored pencils and markers, and then moved on to Photoshop. Right now I do a lot of original stuff. I used to do a lot of fan art, and I still do fan art, but for the most part it's original characters of mine and my friends. I like to use a lot of really bright colors in my art, a lot of oversaturated colors, kind of juxtaposed with some more muted ones. My inking style is really weird because I still just use pencils. I don't actually use pens.
Now, something I have to ask, because I see this in anime all the time, why is it the eyes are always in front of the hair? It's like the hair comes down, then the eyes somehow go in front of it, like it's a 3D eye, or the hair goes behind their eye, or something like that. Just what is up with that style?
That actually goes back to the same reason that eyes are huge in anime and manga, is because the eye is the most expressive part of the face. And you want to get that emotion across when you're using what Scott McCloud calls the masking effect, which is when you have a very simple rendered character and a very detailed background. It makes the reader more easily identify with the character.
I don't usually show button art, but these are pretty damn good. These are made specifically, that's the back credit card broken, and yeah, I think this one I'm gonna give to my brother. He'll relate. This is Stacy. She's gonna tell us all about what she does.
Hi, I do mostly chibi art of animals and characters from Sailor Moon and Studio Ghibli because I'm highly inspired by them. And I also do art from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Did you make that hat?
No, I wish I did.
This is Rachel. Tell us about your work.
Hi, I am largely a fantasy illustrator, but I do a lot of old video game art and some other more obscure things. But my main seller has been stickers for a while, but I like to focus on large-scale illustration. I tend to focus on the more obscure geekdoms, so I have a lot of fun with that. I meet a lot of great fans that way.
Do you sell your stickers online as well?
Yes, all of my merchandise is available online as well.
My name's Adrian, animation student over from Chicago. Most of my work is fan art, dealing with Ghostbusters, Total Drama Island, Boondocks. I'm working on also character designs for my own original creations.
What is the fascination with Ghostbusters? Because you have a lot of art from there.
Well, I watched Ghostbusters as a kid. So I was like drawing. One of my favorite shows was Ghostbusters with G.I. Joe and Transformers. And then when I got into anime, I noticed like I've been doing research on cartoons that was sent to overseas in Japan. I kind of like how the style was from Robotech to Ghostbusters, Bionic 6 and the like. They had an anime-ish type quality. For the Ghostbuster picture, I saw it on a Yu Yu Hakusho picture and I decided to do a Ghostbuster version of it. Yusuke Hirameshi with his school uniform zipped down, showing off his pecs. I did the same thing for Peter Venkman, and most of the fangirls of Ghostbusters loved that part. It drew a strong crowd.
This is Steve. Tell us about your stuff. We work out of rainart.com. Do a lot of different prints, digital paintings. Let's see, Allie has a comic called Whispers of the Divide. She updates that every other week. Pete here is doing Deverish also, which updates every week. Now with your artwork specifically, how do you do, do you outline it in pencil first and then you color it in Photoshop, or what's the process? I used to do it that way, but now I pretty much just do my penciling digitally, so I'm just kind of drawing on my my tablet PC. A lot of this stuff is original artwork. Some of it is like fan art and whatnot, but for the most part I do try to stick with the original concepts and whatnot. I try to tell maybe like a little mini story within a picture, but aside from that, I think I just like to do an individual picture and then just kind of keep moving on to the next picture, I guess. This is Joe. Go, Joe!
Hi, I'm Joe McPhee, president of CZC Studios. I started way back in high school with my artwork here, but I just went professional as of 2 years ago. I pretty much run a comic book company. I currently write and draw 2 comic book series. One is known as Amazonia, another one as AWF. I pretty much do comic pinups every once in a while, but my main focus is actual comic book writing and comic book layout.
This is Rebecca, and she's especially interesting because she is colorblind, and yet her work, the thing that stands out the most is the color in her work. How do you do that?
Photoshop.
I mean, does someone just tell you these colors really pop and these are the colors you should use, or?
What I kind of do is like, I have most problems with like red and browns, it's like kind of mixed together. If you have red text and a black background, I can't read it at all.
Huh.
So what I do in Photoshop, it just basically has a color wheel, so it just tells me what color it is, and then I'll just use that, make it his opinion.
I'm her eyes sometimes too.
Yeah.
You know? I write the comics, so I'm on hand. You know, and just to make myself even more useful, besides just somebody who's like, hey, this is a cool idea. You know, she's like, does this look completely wrong? And I walk up and I'm like, perfect. You know, and or, wow, is that guy supposed to be albino? You know, and you know, luckily most of the times we catch everything that needs to be done, and it comes out what I think is really well done.
This is Corinne and Larissa. They work together, make some great art. They're gonna tell us about it.
We collaborate on a lot. I do the sketching, and then my sister, we're twins, and so she does the inking and the coloring, and so in that way we do a lot of stuff together.
If one sister's mad at the other, do you threaten, I'm not gonna color your stuff, I'm not gonna draw your stuff, right? Do you ever do that?
That doesn't happen very often, but it probably...
But it does happen sometimes.
It just, yeah. We'll pretend it doesn't happen. I do the coloring on the charms and stuff, and I've done some my own art too. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. It's like therapeutic. So basically, she does all the work, and I just get to relax most of the time. It's pretty awesome.
Good trade.
Yeah.
This is Desi. Tell us all about your stuff.
My stuff, Well, it's my stuff. I'm not cool enough to have a twin and have someone else help me with my art. I do traditional sketching and digital coloring. Been drawing for a long time.
How dare you not be cool enough to have a twin? Are you
I
so
wish I
inconsiderate?
had a twin.